On this episode, the 4 strongest men in the world are in England, home of the Beatles, Queen Elizabeth, and a mischievous 18th century strongman named Thomas Topham.
Yeah!
He'll attempt 3 of his most famous crowd-pleasing feats,
It's freaking hard.
including his legendary shoulder lift of barrels weighing over half a ton.
Gotta be honest, guys, I'm seeing stars after that.
Can our strongmen live up to Topham's jolly good strength? Or will they simply be gutted?
Let's go, B! Oh! Get some!
The legendary feats of strong men have been celebrated throughout time. But just how true are these fabled acts?
Yeah! The world's strongest man!
After years of competing as rivals, the 4 strongest men in the world are teaming up to find out. They'll take on epic feats of strength
Oh, this is not going up.
in a quest to prove who really is the strongest man in history.
I gotta say, this might be one of the only times I've been in the UK and actually had to squint because the sun was out.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Subtle, very subtle.
Yeah.
I'm from a town called Stoke-on-Trent in England. And for once, the guys are actually coming from America to where I am.
Oh, hey! Hello.
Plan for this week is to show them a fantastic time, take them to places they've never been before, show them lots of culture, and to introduce these guys to a legendary British strongman called Thomas Topham. How was the journey, though, all right?
It was horrible.
This airplane has 2 exit doors in the front and 2 window exits over the wings in the event of an emergency.
How many flights?
4 flights, 2 trains, and a bus.
Now you know how I feel every time I come over to the US, so it's even Steven.
It's a cute license plate that you have.
Do you have one that says World's Strongest Man on, or?
No, not just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
I think the most impressive thing was that he could count to 4.
Winning the world's strongest man is a big deal, so I don't blame him at all. I've had personalized license plates in the past as well. My last one said 3-time world's strongest man, so I had to get rid of that when I won my 4th.
Be glad I didn't pick you up in the Mustang, guys.
Oh,
Come on, guys. It's not that small.
dude, it's a good thing I've been stretching. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, we're good.
We'll start it off Churchill style with cigars, eh?
Which one's got the firecracker in it? Exactly. What's the plan for this week?
All the legends that we've done so far, Thomas Topham is my favourite. He's British. He owned a pub called the Red Lion in London. And as part of like the act to get business there, he'd do these feats of strength. He lifted up 1,336 pounds of barrels full of beer or whiskey.
I think it's pretty cool that he used his feats of strength to advertise for his business. One of the probably original guys doing it. Just come watch me lift this stuff and drink a beer.
Thomas Topham is like the first modern strongman. He would perform feats of strength in front of audiences decades before anybody else did that sort of thing.
Thomas Topham lived in the 1700s. He was 5'10" and 196 pounds. The son of a carpenter, he often combined craftsmanship with a basic knowledge of physics for his astounding feats of strength, creating large-scale spectacles for London crowds.
You know what made him so great to me? He was an absolute prankster. He was a proper English bastard. Anything that you shouldn't be doing, he did. If you wanted to upset someone, he did it. Something you shouldn't say, he said it. He inspired me to be the person I am today. This guy upsets so many people. He's basically the 1700s version of me.
Out of all the strongmen in history, Thomas Topham, who was a British troublemaker, is your favorite.
Does that not just sound like me in modern day?
Everybody's got to have a role model.
Yeah.
That's not the only legendary strongman we're going to be doing tasks on.
Well, who are we going to do?
Eddie Hall. This week, we're not just taking on an honorary strongman of history, we're also taking on me. Well, I want to test you guys for challenges, the stuff that I'm good at, and see if you can enter the Honorary Hall of Fame.
Honorary.
Honorary Hall.
And what are the challenges?
It's just a series of challenges about me. It's about your attitude, about the way you present yourselves.
So you're serious? At the end of this, there's gonna be a prize.
Mm-hmm. The best prize known to man.
Why do I feel like we're gonna do some weird stuff for that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is just one big long punchline he's waiting to drop on us, but if we're gonna be competitive, I wanna win.
Okay. It's on.
All right.
Good luck, guys. Right, guys, the first Thomas Topham challenge, and my favorite, picked up a watchtower with a policeman in it, walked it 0.3 of a mile, and threw it over a wall into a cemetery. Not only was this guy strong, an entertainer, he was a prankster. So, for our first challenge, we're going to take on Thomas Topham's most famous prank.
Starting in the 13th century, watchmen patrolled the streets of London to keep crime at bay. According to legend, Thomas Topham spotted a watchman dozing off in his sentry box. He picked up the entire booth and carried it 1/3 of a mile before throwing it over the wall of a cemetery. Can our strongmen pull off this superhuman prank? Let's find out.
I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, so wherever I go, people follow. When they heard that we were doing the challenges, they all turned up. My friends, my family, complete strangers. Even if I didn't want them to turn up, they would. We've had these built. We've got policemen in them. They're about 280 pounds.
You're saying these are 280 pounds and we're gonna carry them 0.3 miles.
Yeah.
As strongmen, we kind of do what's called explosive training. We explode and then we recuperate. For us to take something and carry it 0.3 miles, that's something none of us is used to, none of us has ever done.
0.3 of a mile is down to the bottom of that road. Take a left through the archway, right down to the bottom, you'll see a canal. Turn left just before the canal, and there's a row of fences there that we're going to throw them over, and that will be the graveyard.
And how big was Thomas Topham?
5'10". I think he was about 180 pounds.
5'10", 180.
I don't care if it's a policeman, a watchman, or Batman. There's no way he picked that up, carried it 0.3 miles, and then dumped it over a grave.
Maybe it started out, he carried it 10 or 20 feet. And then it was 100 feet. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he carried it 0.3 of a mile. Now, this is a little bit hard to believe that he went that far with this watchtower without waking up the watchman.
Let's get the average man and see what he can do with it. Average man!
Good idea.
We like to have an average man there of average size and average weight to give scale to what it is that we are doing.
I'm 5'8", 150, 155 pounds.
You're not much smaller than Thomas Topham. He was 2 inches taller and another 20, 30 pounds.
Do you reckon you could pick this up?
Pick it up.
Walk it down the street?
He's probably gonna fall towards me. Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
There you go.
I can't pick it up.
Okay.
No way, I can't pick it up.
Well, thanks, Ian. You've been great.
That didn't really help me much in figuring out how I'm gonna do
zero,
it.
not at all.
Right, everyone in front of the towers, facing forward. Right, Lord Mayor, whenever you're ready.
Now that we're on his home turf, I guess Eddie gets to have home court advantage, but I really seriously want to beat him at this.
Ready, steady.
My strategy was just to grab it and go as fast as I could.
I'm gonna try and tilt it forward, grab a hold of the top, and have it on my back as I go.
When I picked this thing up and got it on my back, first thing that hurt was my arms. Holding this thing in place was absolutely excruciatingly painful.
Couldn't really carry it the way I wanted to, so I started to drag it. And I just felt if I kept dragging it good and steady, the other guys are gonna wear out and I'll just keep moving right on by.
Brian took off like a bat out of hell, but he ran out of gas. And no matter what the prize is, I want to beat Brian.
I didn't want to sprint with it because I didn't want to fall on my face, so I just took my time, nice steady steps, and the plan was just to go slow and steady. The tortoise wins the race.
English strongman Thomas Topham carried it to the watchtower 3/10 of a mile and then threw it over a fence. We got to reenact that feat of strength that he did.
I was trying to hurry up because if you lose the eddy, you hear about it forever.
Oh, jeez.
My lungs were on fire, but I wanted to make sure I was successful with it.
Oh, jeez. Felt as though there was a lot of pressure on myself to win this event. We're in Stoke-on-Trent, where I was born and bred, and all my fans and family were there. I had to win it.
My lower back was shot. I look up, and here's Eddie. He just finishes. So I can't win the challenge, but still that meathead mentality in me. I just don't want to give up, ever.
No, look.
Hey, there.
Brian was like Godzilla rampaging through Tokyo. It was hilarious.
In the end, I was happy I just finished.
What's happened to yours?
It was nothing but anger at the finish line that got me to get it across. I'd move. I would move. It felt pretty good to throw that thing, honestly. Oh, that's come on, B!
It's fair to say that my watchman would have definitely woken up.
Finish it!
Let's get
Finish it, B!
But by throwing him forward and having him land on the bricks, I would have effectively put him back to sleep.
That was quite funny. I think Brian lost his temper over his tower, absolutely smashed the policeman to smithereens, but fair play, he got it done.
My stomach's cramping, my back's dead. All I know is the only one that's still asleep is the one that Brian killed.
Yeah. Watching you walk around that corner with a body into your arm and a shed in the other. It's probably one of the most memorable things I'll ever remember to my grave. That is hall-worthy.
No, it's good.
Well done, guys.
I think we gotta give it up. And winner, Eddie, the Beast.
I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat.
So guys, this is Castle Oatcakes. This is my favorite place to eat. You recognize the guy on the wall? Oh. I've been going to Castle Oatcakes my entire life, and then I started going to World's Strongest Man. These guys just decided to name an oatcake after me. The Beast.
So tell us what an oatcake is.
An oatcake is basically a pancake but made out of oatmeal. They do a Eddie all special, which is 2 bacon, 2 sausage, double portion of cheese and tomatoes.
Roll it up like a pancake and just eat away.
Right, well, we've got the orders in. Why don't we go sit outside? They'll bring it out to us.
How you doing, gentlemen? You all right?
Oh, here we
You
go.
okay?
All right. Oh, my God.
Hope you enjoy.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Right, guys, here's the deal. This is the Beast Oatcake. Okay, the first one to finish this is the winner. So, are you ready?
Let's get it.
Okay, march, get set, go.
I really want to beat Brian in this eating challenge. I don't like losing. And Brian, of course, is probably the biggest guy and he's used to eating the most amount of food. So to beat him, it's fun to kind of like needle at him, you know, the whole rest of the day, poking at him that you beat him in an eating challenge.
Oh my God, that sausage is so good. Really good. Brian's just eating it like a burrito. Looks like Brian's picking up an octopus. With his legs, all his guts falling out the bottom.
Brian was shoving it down his throat. It was impressive.
How you doing, Obi?
I'm not doing good, man. I'm so stuffed already. Oh my God. Oh, that was a real gag. I was gagging. I couldn't be in that space anymore because I felt my saliva start to get warm, like right before you throw up. No, don't shove anymore. Don't put, oh, no. Oh! For the oatcakes, I was excited at first, but then it's got like 6 freaking sausages in there, 4.5 pounds of cheese. All I can see is just my stomach killing me for days. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, so much cheese. Honestly, I still feel a little gaggy about it right now. I'm done.
I'm really disappointed with you, Obi. You're usually the guy that eats everything.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this.
Come on, Nick. You're not far off, mate.
I think you got this, Nick.
Bro, you're not gonna beat me.
Get it, Nick.
I'm feeling like I'm gonna barf.
Yeah, puke and rally.
I'm fairly good at eating challenges, but by the end of that thing, I felt so sick. I had to quit.
I seriously can't believe you're actually gonna eat it.
Oh my gosh.
Brian, I consider that done. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Round of applause for Brian. You won the challenge.
I feel like I'm gonna puke.
You kind of look like you're gonna puke.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Overreaction.
Literally almost.
Oh!
Yes!
Oh!
Yeah.
I can't watch! I can't watch!
Come on, Nick. Great job, buddy.
Thanks.
Great job.
Thanks, Eddie.
Spectacular. Who wants dessert? Here it is, guys. So, guys, welcome to the Green Coat Boy. This is my mate's pub. Thomas Topham was famous for doing acts in pubs. He owned a pub. Today, we're going to replicate one of Thomas Topham's feats of strength.
Thomas Topham owned several pubs around London and kept his customers entertained with strongman parlor tricks. One of his famous feats was that he could roll up a 7-pound pewter plate as if it were a piece of paper. But are pewter plates any match for the strongmen of today? Can their hands of steel take on a stronger metal? Let's find out.
So these are the pewter plates from the 1700s. Have a feel of that.
That's got a bit of weight to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Nick, when you were a kid, what was it like to eat off of plates like that?
Yeah, I'm not quite that old.
So what is pewter? I don't know.
So pewter is a mix of metals. I think it's tin and lead.
Tin and lead?
Tin and lead. Thanks, Obi.
So they were eating off of a plate made out of lead?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays we know that's wrong. And we know you can get lead poisoning from doing that, but they didn't know any better back then.
Wow.
So Thomas Topham was most famous for rolling these up like a pancake, and nobody else could do it.
Huh.
We want you to replicate what Thomas Topham did. Go on, Nick. I mean, Thomas Topham would do this as a bar trick, you know, for his patrons. End of the day, he owned the pub, he was a businessman, and he'd do stuff like this to bring people in and buy more beer.
You can hear it crunching.
All right, okay. So I kind of knew that the pewter plates were going to be really easy to roll up. So I want to up the ante a little bit, and this is part of the Thomas Topham challenge. I bought something for you guys to roll up a bit more modern day, a bit thicker, a bit stronger. You ready for this? Frying pans.
Oh,
Now, I'm famous for rolling up frying pans. I did it on a breakfast show here in the UK a while back, and it went viral. So, I think we should make a little competition out of this. who can roll it up the thinnest.
Tightest?
Of course, Eddie's gonna make us do a strength challenge that he can win. If I can beat Eddie Hall at his own game of rolling up a frying pan, I'll seriously leave England feeling like a king.
Give me some space, guys. Come on, back it up. Right, you ready? It's not a race. It's about who can get it the tightest. Remember that. Okay? Right. Off you go. So the main trick to rolling a frying pan is you can be fast with it. It's going to bend faster and easier.
Yes, it's gonna be tough to get this rolled up like those pewter plates.
Once you get to the silver part, it gets freaking hard. I kind of made a mistake because I tried to roll both sides of the pan and then roll the pan up. I mean, it was my first pan, so you make mistakes, you learn. Won't happen again.
Jeez. Jeez.
Well, that's about it for me.
You done?
Yeah,
B, you done?
Yeah,
Right, so I think to make this fair, we're going to measure around the middle of the pan, around the circumference in the middle, not the end, not the start. That makes it fair for everybody, okay?
Yeah.
Shall we start with O-burst just for a laugh? Right, O-burst, not a bad effort, buddy. 15.5 inches.
My first time.
That's not bad. Bang in the middle, you happy with that?
Yeah.
Right, 10, just a speck over 10.5, let's say 10.6 inches.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brian Shaw. Right, 10.2 inches.
okay.
Right, so Brian got 10.2. So in order for me to win this, I've got to beat 10.2 inches. Okay, you ready? Okay. My measurement is... Whoa! 9.4! Oh, yeah. So I'm afraid the winner is myself.
Oh.
That's a shocker.
You got a good drink there.
Tastes like victory.
Being as competitive as I am, really wanted to beat Eddie at that, just to kind of rub it in his face a little bit. So I was disappointed that I didn't get mine rolled up tighter.
I mean, obviously, guys, what I've proved here today is to do these feats of strength, you've got to be British.
I'd rather not do them then. To Thomas Topham.
To Thomas Topham.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is probably the fastest way to travel in the UK. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, but Thomas Topham was actually from London. So I decided to take these guys down to London to do these feats of strength where Thomas Topham would have actually done these things.
If you don't grab a table, we'll be stuck in horrible seats.
Oh, that's comfy.
There we are. Really good.
This is gonna be a good ride.
Yeah. Get cozy.
I've never been on trains before this trip. I'm quickly realizing they suck.
I get to play footsies with Brian the whole way.
Snuggly. Hey, watch, if we interlock our arms, it'll be better.
It's good, actually. I like
Yeah, see, it's much more room.
that. Can you pull your foot back, Brian?
No,
Just a little bit?
no.
Nah.
Really comfortable.
So guys, welcome to London.
So, is this the London Bridge?
No, I think actual London Bridge was packed up and sent to Arizona. Hey, that's Westminster Abbey over there.
The Minister of Abbey lives over there?
Yeah, it's a Minister of Abbeys.
Sounds like a pretty important position.
Yeah, it definitely is. Big Ben's right there. Can you not recognize it? It's kind of under construction right now, I'm sorry.
What? I've always wanted to meet Big Ben face to face. Be like, hey, Big Ben, I'm Big Rob.
It's the London people.
Eddie Hall.
You want to get pictures with this?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice one.
Cheers. Strongman is absolutely a bigger sport in England than it is in the United States. As a result, Eddie here is pretty much one of the most famous people in England. And the great thing is, a lot of people here know who all of us are, so it's a lot of fun walking around England.
Oh yeah, we gotta get a photo in this phone booth right here. Go a little bit.
All right, I'll go here.
Okay.
All right, now. Get in there. Wait.
When Eddie wanted us to come to England, I told him it was under one condition. We had to go to Abbey Road. Abbey Road! I'm so excited to be here. I've wanted to do this since I was a kid.
Right, guys, this is the famous Abbey Road where the Beatles crossed the road and paused for a picture. Do you remember the famous cover on the album?
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's what we're here for today. We're going to do it strongman style. That's why we bought the kegs here.
There's 4 of us, just like there were 4 Beatles, and we're our own weird kind of supergroup.
You ready? Let's go. You're right in the middle.
Yes!
Nailed it.
Yes!
Good job. Hey guys, thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. So, Thomas Topham back in 1741. So we had this built and he lifted 1,336 pounds in these barrels. Wow. This is actually built off a sketch. Somebody was here, there was no cameras back then. Somebody actually sketched this, drew it whilst he was doing the lift.
Wow.
It's almost identical. It's
pretty close.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Today we're going to do Thomas Topham's most famous feat of strength.
Thomas Topham used his feats of strength to promote his taverns. He drew huge crowds to witness his spectacles, and that meant selling a lot more beer. On the 28th of May in 1741, he used his shoulders to lift 3 giant barrels of water weighing a total of 1,336 pounds. Can our strongmen shoulder this load? Let's find out.
I mean, Thomas Topham was probably the greatest British strongman of history. Had a huge crowd. It was in front of the Apple Tree Inn pub that he owned. Obviously, that's shut down now, so we've got the tallest pub in London. Thomas Topham decided to set up this feat of strength in front of a huge crowd to get more punters into his pub.
I can only imagine how much attention he would have got doing something like this back in the day, because look at the attention we're getting.
Yeah. Having the band around your neck, it's so dangerous with a bent back. So we had it built into a bar so you can keep your back straight. And end of the day, I don't want to break my back.
The closest thing that we have in strongman to this barrel lift is a super yoke. The load is across your shoulders and you feel it through your entire body. It's much harder to lift a weight off the ground when the load is going through your core.
We're here to beat Thomas Topham's feat of strength here.
Oh, it's gonna be a challenge for all of us, man, I think, honestly. The barrels actually have to be empty because they're antiques, but what we are doing is adding extra weights to the bottom, which is the way that we're gonna get over 1,336 pounds.
We've got all the weights here. And we'll just keep adding these on until we get to 1,336 pounds. We're gonna work our way up to 1,336 pounds to match Thomas Topham's weight, and then we've got to beat the legend.
Any of you guys scared of heights?
Well, I mean, Brian's already that tall anyway.
He's just getting used to it.
The articles on Thomas Topham's feat of strength clearly state that he lifted this up several inches. Okay. So, I mean, what's several inches?
You know what several inches is. You set yourself up.
That was a stupid question to you.
Come on, Nick.
Lifting several inches doesn't look like that much, but every millimeter is like lifting a whole building.
Yeah. Let's go, big.
I've carried extremely heavy super yokes in the past, so I don't think there's any way these guys are gonna touch me on this.
Nice. Easy.
Let's go, RB.
Come on.
Yep.
I think it's time to break a record. What do you say?
Let's do it.
visualize that.
All right, guys, so we're at 13:45. This officially breaks Thomas Topham's record. Let's go, man.
With no sign, without even thinking about it, your spine can literally snap. You could tear a ligament, tear a tendon. You could rip a rib off. These are the kind of weights where people get really hurt.
Get up, man! Get up!
Well done. Got to be honest, guys, I'm seeing stars after that. But I'm bowing out of that. My back's knackered. The yoke lift is not my strength. I beat the Thomas Topham legend, so I left it there and let those guys carry on.
Get up! In moments like that, everything just stops. And it's just basically between you and the iron gods at that point. It's the most religious experience you can have. It was hard, but it was doable. It meant a lot to me to break this record, but I was done. That was awesome, man. That was awesome.
Who's down it?
You cheered louder for the beer than the lift. I get it.
After Eddie and Robert had dropped out, I wanted to keep going because I felt really comfortable with this lift and I knew it was very strong. And I actually wasn't sure Nick was going to be able to physically lift more weight.
You think you could do quite a bit more?
I think I got a little in the tank.
You want to up the ante?
Why don't we go like 1,500? How about that?
1,500. Okay.
You know what I want to do is I want to figure out a way to strap a couple barrels on the sides is what I'd like to do.
Make it even bigger.
Even bigger, bigger.
Nick, how are you feeling?
What do you guys think? I'm in.
I think me and Obus realized that we were never going to beat Brian at this sort of event. But I think Nick has got a very competitive streak in him. He doesn't like losing things.
Let's go, Brian!
Guys, why don't we just go 1,700?
Ooh.
I know he's the biggest, and I know he's probably the greatest, but I still don't want to lose to him, and I will still go till I can't go to try to beat him.
Make it 1670, bang on.
All right. Let's go,
I'm proper impressed with that.
That hurt.
That is quite incredible.
Nick had the idea that he could win, and Brian decided he wasn't going to back down. When two strongmen decide to go head-to-head, one of them's going to get hurt. So we could go 1808. What does that sound like? Let's load them up. You guys ready?
Come on, baby.
There was absolutely no way that I was going to lose this event.
What do you want to do? 2,000 has got to be.
2,000. When you have over 2,000 pounds on your back, all it takes is one tiny little mishap and you're done. You can spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair.
Nick, you gonna do that or what?
What's the deal?
All right, let's do it. At that point, I think I started going into shock a little bit, and I was really kind of shaky, and I was extremely emotional.
Come on, give him some help. Let's go, give him some help.
I just felt like an atom bomb that was about to explode. I can feel my hands, I can feel everything.
Feel your feet.
Come right up straight.
Oh.
Come on. Hey.
You hurting? My upper back went.
Yeah. Heard some cracks.
And I got to the top and I heard a bunch of cracks and pops and I was done.
I was worried very, very badly, but I was willing to do whatever it took to win that event.
You bowing out?
I'm out.
So that means all you have to do is add anything, get it, and you win.
So what's the lowest jump? 27?
27 pounds.
Let's do it.
Let's add 27 pounds, guys.
After all of these lifts, even adding a small jump is a lot.
Let's go, B.
Let's jump, Brian! Ladies and gents, your winner, Brian Shaw!
This challenge was much more difficult than bending frying pans or carrying a stupid watchtower. So it's fair to say after my performance in the barrels that I have not only won the week, but I have conquered England.
Even though Brian won, my heart goes out to Nick Best more than anybody right now. Seriously, well done, Nick. Come on, man.
It wasn't about beating the weight or the number that's there. It was about pushing myself further than I ever had before. But to be the best, you have to be able to beat the best. And Brian's the best.
Now I'm done.
So guys, I've had an absolutely amazing week. Honestly, I think this has been my favorite legendary strongman by far, Thomas Topham. There's one more thing we've got to settle as well. Have you all forgotten about the Honorary Hall of Fame?
All right, here comes the punchline, huh?
Hey. It's very special for me that these guys made the effort and came all the way here. So I wanted to design something really special, something that showcases the beast and something that they can take home and know they'll be a part of the Honorary Hall family. So it's been really tough for me to pick a winner, but I think it's got to be Nick, mainly because he put his heart and soul on the line today. He pushed Brian to the absolute limit. He was willing to break his back. That's heroism right there. What Brian did for that barrel lift was an amazing feat of strength. But I've never seen another competitor literally go to the point where they break themselves, pass out. I mean, that's what I'm sort of renowned for. So to see Nick do that, my friends, is what it means to be an honorary Hall. So this prize is actually something that I designed. Nick, do you want to do us the honors?
Oh, no way. Oh, that is cool.
That is the representation of the beast. My logo is the beast, the gorilla, the big silverback. That's basically me holding it out the stone.
Thanks, Eddie.
Well, are you crying? Are you actually crying?
No.
Are you sure? I can see tears.
It was awesome getting the trophy for being an honorary Hall. That's a moment I will probably never forget.
I really appreciate you bringing us down here, educating us on Thomas Topham. I learned a lot. I've really grown to respect this man.
To Thomas Topham.
Thomas
Cheers.
Topham.
Thomas Topham.